Okay, so we have discussed about the k-means algorithm. Next to k-means algorithm, it is again another algorithm. Actually, k-means algorithm, it is called partitioning. It follows the partitioning technique. So this algorithm follows partitioning technique because it partitions, right? It partitions the n number of objects among k partitions, we can say, k groups, or it is called the cluster. So that is why the algorithm also called partitioning algorithm. Now another partitioning algorithm which is known, it is one variation of the k-means algorithm. It is called the k-medoids algorithm. K-medoid algorithm, also called the PAM algorithm. Anyway, we'll come to that discussion. Let us see what is the k-medoid algorithm and why this k-medoid algorithm it is there. Now, from the discussion of k-means algorithm, right, as we have noticed that the k-means algorithm, it can be, right, it can be investigated, it can be researched that k-means algorithm is sensitive to outliers. Okay, am I audible, right, to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So k-means algorithm really performs bad under few situations. One of which is called the outliers presence, or if the data is too much noisy. So in many real life application, for example, image clustering, for example, usually we are to be associated with many noises. Similarly, for the document clustering, which is one important task, right, in today's IT world, right, document needs to be clustered, right? Whenever you have to go for searching your desired document, then search engine usually perform the document clustering to give you the best document for your keywords. So many cases are there. A document also can be noisy. The noisy in the sense that it may include some words which are very uncommon or unfamiliar or not so popular word, and then they may influence the performance of the algorithm. So if the data either distorted due to noise or any other reason, so the k-means algorithm really a poor, right? It performs very poor in those cases are there. So the k-medoid algorithm was proposed to address mainly these limitations. Okay. Now here, what is the idea? Idea actually the same as that of the k-means, but little bit different things are there. First, like k-means algorithm, it first choose the k value, that how many cluster that you want to have, right? And then second step onwards, right? Second step is, okay, randomly you select initial cluster head, that is called the cluster center, right? That is in the k-means algorithm. It is also same here also in case of k-medoid. But in k-medoid, instead of cluster center or cluster head, they are called cluster medoid or simply medoid. Okay, so centroid has been changed to medoid. That is the only difference so far the second step is concerned. Now, so after initially selecting a random medoid, right, you can go for initial partitioning, which is the similar method as in case of k-means algorithm. Now, next is updation. In case of updation, k-means algorithm follow the mean calculation. So mean of all the objects, those are under a particular cluster, become the centroid, the updated centroid. But in case of k-medoids, the idea is different. Idea is different in the sense that the centroid or new centroid is not a real object. Rather, it is a hypothetical object. It is a virtual object, right? So out of n objects, no one can matches with the new centroid because it is a hypothetical and it is calculation based object. Now, in this case, in case of K-medoids algorithm, it will decide a real object as a new medoid. I repeat, here not a hypothetical or virtual object, rather a real object. That means whatever the n objects that is given to you, out of them you have to select one object as a medoid. So this is the difference between K-medoids and K-means algorithms. Now K-medoid algorithms determines whether there is any object that should replace one of the current medoid by means of some proximity calculation. And here for the proximity calculation, right, it follows the median calculation. Now again, actually it is not the median properly, it is a median calculation. Okay, I can discuss about what calculation that it can consider. So first of all, let us see what is the measurement of the accuracy of a cluster so far the K-medoid algorithm is concerned. K-medoid algorithm follows SAE measurement, sum of absolute error measurement, which is based on the L1 norm. So here this is the L1 norm based measurement that you can understand about. This is the L1 norm measurement. And the idea it is that it consider all pair of medoids and non-medoid objects. The idea it is, say suppose these are the medoid. For any other objects, it is the medoid. Okay, and then in order to decide whether this is the non-medoid object become the medoid or not, what you can do it, we can consider all objects and then this medoid calculation, right? All other non-medoid objects that needs to be in the periphery of the medoid object, we have to consider this is the calculation SAE, right? So if we calculate the SAE for these objects, that means this is the medoid object and non-medoid object. Similarly, this is another medoid and the non-medoid object also we have to consider, right? Similarly, here also it is like this, right? Now, after considering instead of this medoid, say this is my medoid, then with respect to this medoid, whether this SAE is improved or not. If there is an improvement, considering suppose this is the new chosen medoid, then instead of this medoid, we can replace this medoid by this one. So this become the new medoid. Okay, so that is why it is called that all pair of medoid and non-medoid objects are taken into calculation and to check whether the SAE is improved by replacing one medoid by a new, this is the prospective medoid. Okay, if we find an improvement, then we can replace it. So this way we can try out with this one, we can try out this one, and we can try out this one. And with this one, suppose the SAE is minimum, then we can leave it to that one as a new medoid. So this is the procedure that we can follow. And again, as you can understand that we have to, so the mean calculation is comparatively the easier calculation in K-means algorithm. But new medoid calculation, as you can see, we have to find all pair distances, right, between the medoids and non-medoid objects. And therefore, it is a costly affairs. And really, this is the one big, what is the major limitation of these K-medoid algorithms, that it suffers from the time complexity because it is computationally even the worse than the K-means algorithm. But it can survive against the presence of outliers. Now this algorithm, popularly called the PAM algorithm actually. So K-medoid algorithm alternatively called PAM. PAM stands for partitioning around medoids. Okay, here is an example that is given that you can check okay, yourself. The 12 objects, the 12 objects are given, it is like this. So this is the 12 object. And for this 12 object, this is the initial midpoint. Okay, and for this initial midpoint, deciding the closeness using the L1 norm. So this is the initial cluster, C1, C2, C3, C4, the 4 cluster, and in this illustration, K is considered as 4. Okay, you can repeat the same procedure with K equals to 3 also. Anyway, so here, so 12 objects is given to you, and K equals to 4. That is the 4 midpoint algorithms that you have to follow. So initially, the 4 clusters are chosen with the 4 midpoints in each cluster. Then second, so this is the first iteration, and in the next iteration, what you have to do is that here O4 are to be replaced by a new cluster midpoint, a new midpoint. So then we have to check that which one out of the remaining, right? All, right? So except O4, which one other, right? Obviously non-midpoint, right? O4 except except midpoints, which are the non-midpoint object can be chosen for the new midpoint. To do these things, so start with O8 with all, right, SAE calculation, start with O10 with all SAE calculation, start with O9 with all SAE calculation, and then which one gives a better result, that can be considered to replace the midpoint O4. Similarly, we can repeat the same thing for other midpoint also, and then we can choose it which one. The procedure can be repeated. The procedure can be repeated. As in this case, we see that initially O4 was the midpoint, but it was found that O5 gives a better result so far SAE calculation is concerned. So O5 selected as the new midpoint, right? And now you can repeat for the other clusters also. Then again, whether O1 can be, right, replaced by someone, or that can be decided. So this way the procedure needs to be repeated until we...
Sir, here how is O5 better than O4? Can you please explain?
Which one tell?
Sir, here by the figure it appears as if O4 was the better midpoint. But
Right.
why is O5 selected?
Yeah. So I repeat. You are telling that, okay, so this is your clustering at any moment, and then O4. You are telling that O1, I repeat again, O4. O4 is now to be replaced by, right, or updated by some other midpoint. You tell which one you are thinking about.
Sir, in this case, isn't O4 giving the best result itself?
No. O4 is here. Yeah, O4 is giving the result based on your, definitely it is not the best or good, that we don't know. It is giving some result. Result actually gives a SCE value, but I'm not sure about that. Definitely this SCE value is not the best SCE value. I am in fact searching for the minimum SCE value. Okay, so here with O4 and then O3, O1 and O2, whatever the SCE calculation, it gives a SCE calculation, but I'm not sure that it is the best SCE. So here, for example, the new cluster, from this is the step 1 and this is the another step, right? Another iteration. This give SCE, another SCE. Now I can certainly say that this SCE is better than this SCE. Why I'm telling so? Because I have chosen the new midpoint as O5 instead of O4, because this choice is based on the improvement of SAE. So definitely this one is the best SOE than this one. Again, if we again start with this one, again if we go for new midpoint updation and then another clustering that that we will get it, then definitely this will be the better, what is called the SOE. So this way, as the iteration continue, it will lead to the minimum SOE or improved SOE rather. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I just want to know whether I'm able to address your question or not. This is correct, right?
Yes, sir. So this algorithm generates clusters which are more scattered within itself. Like it can generate such clusters also.
It is not that more scattered actually, it is based on the similarity measurement. And that similarity measurement is actually L1 norm. Okay, this is that is why it is called the L1 norm is very closely related to the median calculation as we have mentioned it. But here we are not. Here we are actually using the L1 norm as a similarity measure, so that the objects belongs to a particular clusters are similar with respect to this L1 distance measure. That is the only thing it is there. So it is not that okay scattered or this kind of. It's not like that. Okay, fine.
Yes, sir. Fine.
Good. So this is the PAMS algorithm, and the algorithm is formally mentioned in this slide. That is for your own purpose, right? But the good idea should be that you can try with one, right? For the algorithm, the example that I use for the k-means, you can try out with yourself, just a hands calculation. It is not the big problem. If you can write a program, it will be very good. But even without writing program, okay, is a dry run also you can do by doing some manual execution. You can check it that how it is working. Of course, it is a little bit tedious so far the manual competition is concerned. But anyway, we can to get the idea about how the two algorithms works and then which gives better result or in what sense exactly. So you can little bit try about it. So this is the PAM algorithm. And if we come to the comparison between the k-means and PAM algorithm, then there are few points that okay we can tell about here. Now both k-means and k-meroid algorithms similar in the sense that they consider the initial k value to be decided by the user, and then also similar because the initial cluster head, that is either centroid in case of k-means or medoid in case of PAMs, are based on the same procedure. So initial k selection and then initial centroid or initial medoid selection are similar approach in both the algorithm, right? But here the k-medoid algorithm is more what is called the robust than k-means algorithm, in particular in the presence of outliers. It is also observed that k-medoid algorithms gives better result for the non-globular data. Non-globular means they are the cluster size not necessarily of uniform size, or it is not the uniform density, or maybe in okay for the globular data k-means k-meroid both fails, right? But it is for the in presence of outliers, in presence of non-uniform sizes, in presence of non-uniform densities, k-meroid gives better result than k-means algorithm, which can be tested taking the different data set and then calculating the cluster quality in each data set following the two algorithms. Then it can be okay experimentally can be proved. Next, the time complexity. Now out of the two algorithms, k-means is faster than k-meroid. So if the k-means require is more because it needs to, because the new centroid calculation in k-means algorithm takes less time than the new meroid calculation that is required in PAMS algorithm, which is very costly. Now another good application of the PAMS algorithm is that so as the time complexity is very high for the PAM algorithm, it is usually not suggested, not advocable, it is not suggested to apply this PAM algorithm when the large data set to be clustered. So for the small data set, PAM algorithm really better than the k-means algorithm. There is another modification of the PAMS algorithm. It is the k-meroid. It is called the Clara and Clarence, has been also proposed. It decides about how the large data set can be handled. So that is a Clara stands for clustering large applications, and clustering large application based on randomized search. So it is actually not follow any algorithm the way we followed for the medoid updation. It is actually follow on randomized search to replace medoid by an existing replacing an existing medoid by a new non-medoid object. So it is actually a randomized search. A different searching technique has been proposed in Clarence. Mainly Clara and Clarence proposed by the same group of research, but there are two versions and they are improvement of the PAM algorithm. So here, if you are interested to know Clara and Clarence, these are the right reference it has been given. Even if you can search Clara and Clarence, you can find the reference from the net itself, and then paper can be downloaded. But this clustering technique, you know, it is a huge topic, and many algorithms are available. All algorithms are very interesting, right? Those are good in theoretical research, algorithmic research. It is okay, very interesting topic for them to know the different algorithm. Actually, it will give an idea about how the problem can be attacked from the different angles. So this is why those algorithms are very good, and usually algorithms are chosen to teach the algorithm subjects in computer science discipline. Okay, so this is the one part of the clustering technique. In the next one class, we shall discuss the next type of the clustering, which is called the agglomerative clustering technique. So today I have covered the partition-based clustering technique. Mainly I discussed k-means and k-medoids. Other techniques, okay, it is based on your interest. You can study of your own, and then you can understand. It is not that okay big job to understand the algorithms. And then next different technique. So it is called the agglomerative division technique. So we shall discuss in next class. Okay. So if you have any other question, please. Yes.
So, sir, please upload the 11th chapter PPT. You have uploaded 12th chapter PPT.
Okay, okay. 11 and then today chapter. Right. Okay, okay. I'll do that. Right. And
this chapter you
last
chapter.
Last, okay, the topic 11, right? These are similarity measures, right?
No, sir. Similarity measure after that, 11, that is 10. 11 is different. This is 12.
No, 10 is actually sensitivity measure. And then 11 is, I think, it is the similarity measure. 12 is actually today's topic.
Yes, sir.
So last class, last topic, and then today's topic needs to be uploaded. I'll do it right now. That and then all practice sheet and everything. Okay. So coming 2-3 days, I'll get little bit okay holiday like. So I'll comply all the problem sheet and I'll give you with answers so that you can follow quickly to understand what sort of problem usually people ask from this topic that will help you to prepare your exams. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I'll upload it. And then test result also, okay, actually yesterday I'm supposed to announce it, but I could not because some urgent work is there. So I'm trying today or tomorrow, I will okay announce the result so that you can quickly check. Okay, then thank you very much. If you don't have any question now, okay, if you have any question, we have time, of course. Any question, please?